What's up, everyone? You're listening to episode 5 of Words and Stuff, a video game podcast by two video game brothers who love to talk about video games. I am your co-host, Jonathan, and I am joined by my brother, Chewbacca's nephew, Micah.
What's up?
Micah, how did you feel when your uncle Chewbacca had to watch his best friend get, spoiler alert for Star Wars episode, whatever, murdered by his own son? How did you feel to know that your uncle had to watch that?
Yeah, I mean, that was a hard time for me, but especially him. I had to guide him through that for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of counseling, but, actual family.
Words and Stuff is a awesome video game podcast that we make together because we like to talk about video games and whatnot. You can find us at SoundCloud, Words and Stuff Podcast on Apple, and we keep on lying to you about YouTube, but I promise it'll eventually be there.
We'll figure it out.
We'll get it there. We're just kind of lazy. And there was like a car in the background. You probably heard that. It was like,
So now you know that.
Also, Happy New Year!
Yeah, woo!
If you guys have any questions to send in to the podcast, you can send them into wordsandstuffquestions@gmail.com. We will take as many questions as humanly possible.
You can be the first one of the year.
Oh, that's
special.
True. Ooh, yeah. We'll have a bonus prize of nothing.
Over
Of
the internet
being
high
excited.
fives.
Oh yeah, high five. Internet high fives are the best. Yeah. Yeah. Our dog's in the background too. He better shut up.
Don't worry, we love our dogs.
Do we?
Yeah, I do.
We don't want PETA. Oh my gosh, that dog. We
We
don't
might
want
not
PETA to attack us.
might not even be picking it up, but
Anyway, we're kind of off on a tangent already. Micah, what have you been playing lately?
I've been playing this game. It's one of those whoa, this is awesome and really fun. It's called I don't know if you know what it is. It's called Final Fantasy.
Oh,
XV.
Oh,
XV stands for 15.
I didn't know that.
You did.
Except last week I told you that because you thought it was 16.
What are you?
Nothing. Go ahead.
I never said that.
You did. You're like, what does XV stand for? 16? I was like, no, 15.
Don't. You're making fun of me, and I don't even remember this, and now I don't know how to because I don't want to argue about it.
So keep going.
Okay, whatever. I'll just say I said that. I don't even remember that though.
Yep, keep going.
Anyway, really awesome. I don't know. It's super special.
It just feels good.
Yeah, it's really unique. One of a kind fighting system. The whole game just feels like a road trip, which is really cool because I love road trips. I never wanted that or felt that in a game.
Yeah, I want a road trip video game.
Yeah,
but now that you have it, you're like, whoa,
this is great. I never.
So it's like an Apple product. I don't need a phone on my a camera on my phone. Whoa, yes I do.
Exactly, and yeah, I don't know, just the way it feels. Just it really feels like you're on a legit road trip. And
how's the story?
That's not the.
But the character interaction is good.
Yeah, I heard some complaints about that. Yeah, exactly. I never felt these characters characters like this interact together. They'll do moves together sometimes. Everyone has a special thing. The one guy takes pictures. The other guy cooks for you. Before you fight, sometimes they'll grab you and pull you back and wait, I got a strategy for this or something like that.
Yeah. And
then they all have their weird Japanese type anime personalities to them. There's the really smart guy with glasses.
Of course.
He's the one who cooks, of course, and has strategies and everything. And then the main character is
Can you see his eyeballs? Because you can't see Brock's eyeballs in Pokemon.
Yeah.
He cooks.
Yeah. You can't see his eyeballs.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the main character's all emo, basically.
Of course.
That type of thing.
But you like it?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Cool.
I'm really enjoying it. I also finished Bloodborne the night we did our last podcast.
Oh, okay. I didn't even realize you had. Oh yeah, I do realize. Never mind. I remember you telling me.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a spoiler or something, but you kind of can make a decision at the end, and the decision I picked, I didn't actually end up fighting a final boss, so that was pretty disappointing.
Oh.
Kind of almost ruined it for me.
That's kind of weird.
It was the good ending though.
Okay.
But I was that's not that epic of a ending, and it kind of just happened, and it.
Well, it's like real life. Think about it. The good ending in real life would mean terrible things don't happen, but the bad ending in life would be more epic for a war or something like that.
Yeah.
So the good ending is you don't have to go fight this boss, but for a video game, maybe that's not exactly the most exciting way to finish a game.
Yeah. And it took me straight to the New Game Plus, so I have to go through the whole game if I want to get certain items. So it's kind of now I really don't even have
the motivation.
No.
Yeah.
But maybe something.
But you liked it a lot.
Yeah, really cool game.
Cool. Okay, I guess there's a couple of different games I was playing. I've been playing some Infinite Warfare because I'm a big Call of Duty fan, but I haven't even touched that game because I've just been having fun with Remastered.
Yeah, the way better one.
Oh yeah, Modern Warfare Remastered is phenomenal. Such an awesome game. Play it with my friends on the weekend nights and stuff like that. Still been doing that. That's great. I got into the Infinite Warfare multiplayer, and it's okay. It's it's not as it's nothing new, which is kind of disappointing. It's pretty much Black Ops 3 multiplayer mixed with Advanced Warfare multiplayer, like taking all these ideas from those two.
Yeah.
So that kind of makes it the single player is good. It feels like Call of Duty, like normal Call of Duty, but then they also do a lot of, I completely beat the single player in 3 or 4 nights. Trying to get as much gaming in as I can before college starts up.
Yeah.
But it's pretty fun. It definitely feels like Call of Duty. There's all these like shocking moments where it's like, oh, wow, that just happened, and I'm like, no, actually, I've played Call of Duty for 10 years. That didn't surprise me
that one, like,
at all.
One commander or something sacrifices himself.
Like, no, why'd you do that? Like, yeah, I saw that coming from a mile away actually, because that's what they always do. Spoiler alert: they kill like pretty much every single character in that game. Like everybody, they just kill them off. They kill them all off. It's pretty. It gets really like not surprising by the end of it. It feels like a war. It actually kind of feels like a war movie more than a war game, which might be a kind of good thing because it's like they do. It's got there's a lot of cool stuff about things in it. You can pick your side missions if you want to do, and you can go to a side mission and you can maybe like the enemy has some prototype weapon, and you can like go into this side mission where you kind of sneak through and then steal the weapon and then fight your way out with the weapon, and then now you have that weapon and you can use it. And that's totally optional. You didn't have to do that for the main story. Or there's a side mission where you can stealth in and assassinate all these leaders and stuff like that. And those are side missions on the side, and that's pretty cool.
It's like a new thing for
it kind of branches out in different ways, and it's pretty neat. Other than that, the other game that I played and beat in 2 nights is Firewatch. So Firewatch is a beloved indie game for a lot of people. And while I was playing this game, I could see it. I was like, man, there is a lot to really like about this game. I was really enjoying it. One of those, like a really good book. It kept me very interested. I'm like, I want to keep reading this. And then the ending happened. And it went from an interesting game to me to a terrible game instantly.
Yeah.
And I instantly looked back at the game and I was like, man, there was a lot of stupid gameplay things that weren't fun. Like, the gameplay itself is just not fun. You just walk around. And there's a lot of like gameplay hiccups too, where the frame rate drops a lot, and weird things happen where I'm like walking straight and I'm bumping into a rock and I can't move, and I'm looking down like, oh, there's a rock underneath me. Just annoying stuff like that.
But those aren't as bothersome when you have the really good story.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't even thinking about them a whole lot because the story was keeping me going. But then as soon as the story ended up being so stupid, like just straight stupid, I instantly remembered all that lame stuff, and I was like, man, this game's just not good. It's not a good game. I'm sorry. And I want to rant about it a bunch. And actually, what we might do, I think we're going to do this. We're going to do like a spoiler cast, which is like a podcast, but we're going to do like a 10-15 minute spoiler cast of this game, Firewatch, of me just ranting about the story, because I can't talk about it without spoiling it. So if you guys want to listen to that, that's going to go up in a day or 2 from now. We're going to do like a 10-15 minute one, just a little short thing.
Little side episode.
Just a side episode of me ranting on that game. Spoiler galore. I'm not going to hold anything back so that I can give my opinions on it, because I want to talk about it, but it's a type of game, since it's so story driven, I can't talk about anything without like giving away all these key elements. I actually said this with a couple of my friends, and I'll say it again. Basically, the best way I can tell you about it, about how disappointing it was, is this analogy. Okay, so your friend comes up to you, Micah, right?
Uh-huh.
And he's like, hey, Micah, I really want you to go to this party in a couple weeks. And you're just like, I'm not really a party dude. I don't know. You're kind of a lame guy anyway. You probably don't throw that great at parties.
Yeah.
And you're like, whatever. And then he's like, a couple days later, he's like, no, really. Okay, look, so this girl's super hot. She's going to the party. And you're like, oh, wow. And you're like, and it's going to be at the bowling alley. And you're like, oh, that's kind of lame. But I rented the bowling alley out completely empty just for us. Like, oh, that's pretty neat.
Pretty legit.
So now you're like interested. And then a couple days later, he's like, I'm going to have pizza, every single kind of pizza you can think of. You're like, that's freaking awesome. A couple days later, he's like, I'm going to have an ice cream bar, or we're going to have all these toppings to choose from. You're like, man, this is going to be freaking awesome. So you're super pumped about this. He keeps on sprinkling up all these awesome little things. And then you go to the freaking party, and the bowling alley is packed with random people that you don't even know because he didn't actually rent it out.
Yeah.
And there's no pizza. There's just like ham and cheese sandwiches and like unsweetened iced tea.
Yep.
And that's like the party. And that cute girl's not even there.
And then it's not even explained either.
Yeah, and he's just like, and you ask him about it, and he keeps changing the topic every time. Like, you can go bowling. Like,
it's a bowling alley.
That's what Firewatch was. Freaking stupid. Like, it leads you up all these interesting paths. Like, ooh, what's this story plot going to do? All these branching stories. There's not one particular story. There's a couple different branches, different ways that it's going to take you. And you're like, ooh, how is that plot going to end? How is this going to end? How are they all going to intertwine with each other? This is really cool and interesting. And the character writing is really solid, and the voice acting is really good. And then it ends, and everything gets finalized in the dumbest way possible, and it's a dumb game. That's my spoiler-free version of me not like just me telling you about how I don't like the game.
Yeah. So check out the spoiler cast coming out soon, or already out when you're listening to this.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Firewatch spoiler cast, probably 10, 15, 20 minutes tops. Yeah. My blood's boiling. I want to talk about this game more, but we're going to move on. Speedrun time. If you guys didn't know what Speedrun is a list of news topics that came out this week that we want to give attention to and talk about our thoughts with them real quick. It's called Speedrun because we only have 3 minutes to discuss the topic as quick as we possibly can, and we move on to the next one. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 topics today. And now let me get out my beeper, if that's what we want to call it. I don't know. Make sure the ringer's up at a decent volume too.
So what's the first topic?
I can't multitask. Okay. First topic. Timer starting
now.
New Double Dragon is coming to PlayStation 4 and PC next month. Micah, what do you know about the Double Dragon franchise?
It's by Arc System Works.
You're
took
cheating.
The phone away. Darn it, I was reading.
You're cheating.
It's it probably wasn't in the beginning. Maybe it was. In arcades, probably in Japan.
Yeah, it was a big NES game.
NES game.
It's just side-scrolling.
It's a beat 'em up.
Yeah, side-scrolling beat 'em
Good
up.
old beat 'em ups, which you don't see very often.
No, beat 'em ups haven't been around for a while. I'll tell you one thing though.
You played a really awesome one.
What's my favorite beat 'em up of all time, Micah?
Scott Pilgrim
versus the mother
really
freaking
cool
world.
music too.
Ugh, incredible
the first
soundtrack
level.
in just awesome gameplay. Just I freaking love that game. I love that game so much.
Yeah.
Man, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the movie and the game are both freaking amazing. Yeah. Anyway, Double Dragon hasn't. I don't know when the last time we had a Double Dragon game. It feels like it's been a while. But it is coming out. It was kind of initially. I think it was back in 2015 where we heard about this initially, and then suddenly it's like, bam! It's coming out next month in January. So it's January 30th, a day before my birthday. Coming out on the PlayStation 4 and PC only. I don't know if it'll eventually come elsewhere. It definitely is it's definitely a maybe. Yeah, I could see it maybe even doing that more likely than Xbox, because obviously Xbox is a Western developed thing. It's a American company, and Double Dragon is much more synonymous with Japanese gaming. So I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up going to like the Switch or something instead. So I'm not really surprised that it's only on PCs and PlayStation 4s first. Yeah. But I don't know much about it as far as price range and stuff like that. I couldn't find anything about it. But you interested possibly in at least messing around with it, Mike, and seeing what it's like?
Seeing, I want to see like the style. I hope they don't go for something too new, some weird like 3D. Yeah. Like, I hope they give it a cool maybe retro look, but like polish it up. It depends on the price too.
Definitely.
Always depends on the price, and I could see it being like a free thing someday too.
No, yeah, that makes sense to me to be a possible PS Plus game eventually.
Yeah. Or gold if it makes it to Xbox.
Yeah, probably not. No, I'm just kidding. It might. Who knows?
Beep beep.
No, yeah, we
beep.
have more time, but oh well. We're gonna move on to the next thing because we have more than enough time to go. Okay, next topic. Nickelodeon is allegedly creating an animated film for a Nintendo series.
Film? I thought it was a TV show.
No, Nickelodeon. No, film. Nickelodeon Film Company.
Okay, because, yeah. I guess it's pretty important to me because I'm a big Nintendo fan. So when I thought about it first, I was like, oh, gosh. Because if it's a TV show, it's going to probably
be
suck
lame, right?
horribly.
But for a cartoon, it might.
Yeah.
For a cartoon
they made
animated
Nacho
series.
Libre. If you didn't think about that. It's a funny movie.
Oh yeah, Nickelodeon's done some good things. I mean, the
For
SpongeBob
films.
movie is amazing.
Yeah.
So Holes, the movie Holes with
The Owl.
Shia LaBeouf, that movie's legit. That was Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
What else?
I don't know.
What did you just say?
I thought it was the one with the owl. Is that a different one?
The Guardians one or whatever?
Oh, no. I was talking about the Holes. I thought it was the one with the owl. I'm thinking of a different movie.
With the owl?
Yeah, I'm thinking of another movie.
Holes is the one where Shia LaBeouf is a kid who gets, like, sent to this, like, freaking, like, camp for, like, kids that do bad things.
Yeah.
Because they thought that he stole shoes, even though he didn't even steal them.
Just
and then all they do
stealing
is just dig holes in the middle of nowhere because they're trying to find, like, a treasure. But really, they're saying, like, we're digging holes so that you can learn how to be a hardworking kid and be a better human being. But really,
just forcing
she's just forcing them because she wants them to find money.
Cool plot.
Yeah, I mean, that was
No
actually an
owls.
awesome movie. No,
owls.
I don't think that there's like lizards that are like poisonous. These really crazy lizards that I thought were fake, but then I found out that they actually might be real.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We have a project now that we're doing that needs to go unnamed, based on one of the most famous video games of the last 30 years that we've had in our shop for 12 years without being able to get it started. But there were great characters and a great story, and eventually we'll get it going. That is a little piece of info directly from Nickelodeon.
What could it be?
What do you think it is, Micah? What do you think it is, and what would you want it to be? And do you think they could pull it off and make it good?
I think it's probably Mario.
Yeah, I mean,
Most likely.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd want it to actually be. I
If
wouldn't
it
want
was
it to
like
be a
if it
Zelda.
was somebody else, I would be like Zelda. But Nickelodeon
No.
doesn't sound like they're gonna make Zelda.
They'd just make it really cheesy.
Or they're not gonna make Metroid. But like,
Yeah, I think those should be taken more seriously. For Mario, yeah, it might just be yeah, I think Mario. Actually, yeah, I think Mario's perfect. I think it most likely is Mario, and it probably should be.
yeah, for Nickelodeon to do it, the way that they handle stuff, a little bit more of like a kid-friendly thing. I think it could be. It probably is Mario and Luigi, and if it is, it could end up being a lot of fun. I'm afraid because I don't have a whole lot of faith in them. If Disney was doing this, I'd be much more down. I feel like they could handle it a lot better. I mean, every once in a while they have a kind of dumb movie, but in general, whether it's Pixar, who always nails it, or Disney, who still probably like 80% of the time nails it, they could kill a Zelda movie or a Mario movie or whatever.
I just want it to be something fun and
like Wreck-It Ralph. Like imagine like they
do something like that, not something like Angry Birds or something like that where they're throwing like dirty jokes in there and stuff. Something that's like real and like Mario.
Yeah, exactly. Next topic, because the 3 minutes are up. Game, which is the video game store in Europe, the GameStop of Europe, so to speak. Game claims that Zelda: The Breath of the Wild is coming out in March. UK video game retailer Game has started advertising the Nintendo Switch in various stores, but along with the Switch, the Reddit user P. Murphy or PM Murphy, I don't know, 1978, noticed a display for Breath of the Wild. Now, the Breath of the Wild box art is the Wii U box art on this picture, and it mentions March, but it also mentions March being right there for the Switch. So there's two different rumors that are going out there. One, this is just incorrect, and it'll eventually get fixed, that the game actually is coming out in the kind of late spring, early summer, which is what the general feel is now for that game.
Hopefully not.
The second option is that it's going to be coming out on the Wii U in March, but then it won't come to the Switch until that late spring, early summer type period. And then the third option would be that it's actually, even though we heard rumors about it being pushed back, it actually is not going to be pushed back, and it's going to come out in March for both the Wii U and the Switch. What say you about all this?
Ideally, in my dreams, I'd hope it's true. But if they really need to work on it still and make it perfect, I can wait. It's hard for the Switch, though, because it's like, you're so close, just a couple months.
Yeah,
earlier,
it makes a big
then
deal
it would help
game.
a lot. It would help the game itself.
But if Mario's amazing, which
Yeah.
looks like Mario.
And
Mario
this-
looks like it's gonna be a launch game. If
This
it's Mario's amazing, and they
Rabid
have
Mario game. It's an RPG, so I could see it being pretty cool. That's what it's supposed to be.
What, the Rabbids thing?
Yeah, the Rabid
Cool.
crossover with Mario.
So yeah, but if like Mario's great and their launch games are great, or at least good enough, and then 4 or 5 months later Zelda comes out, that would be maybe good for it because
Maybe.
it would show that doesn't have like an explosion at first and then nothing for forever. My biggest concern though is I
Nintendo.
really don't want this to come out on the Wii U first, and then have months to go because there needs to be a reason to get this on the Switch. Now Nintendo did something kind of funny for Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess was initially for the GameCube, and after years of us knowing about that game and it not coming out, they finally were going to have it come out in the fall of 2006. But to correspond with the Wii launch, they actually had the Wii version come out first, and a week later the GameCube version come out. Because they wanted to be like, if you really want this game, go buy a Wii. And guess what? It worked. So many people, and people eventually bought that game because Wii Sports and stuff like that. But the first wave was for Zelda. That was what it was for. I don't ever remember people being more hyped up about a launch game than Twilight Princess for the Wii. Like, that was huge.
Yeah.
Time's up.
That's a really good launch game.
So it's a
like,
good
franchise,
strategy
too.
for them to do the same thing. Like, have it come out on the Switch first or at the same time. Don't make it come out on the Wii U first and then waiting forever. It's just not. It might not work out for them in the long run. Okay, next topic. Rumor is that Assassin's Creed 2017, the newest, brandest, awesomest Assassin's Creed for 2017, whatever that will be.
It took a year
Which, remember,
off.
it's on a year off exactly. Is apparently coming to the Nintendo Switch. Now, there are rumors that games like Red Dead might not. These are all. Well, Red Dead not coming out is a rumor. Not coming out for the Switch, and Mass Effect not coming out for the Switch. They're both rumors. They may end up being true, but the Assassin's Creed 2017 is a little. There's a little bit more truth behind it from the information that I'm finding out here. It seems like that's more legit, and the other ones are kind of speculation. So, what do you think, Micah? First of all, if all those games come out, that'd be great. But if it's true that like something like Red Dead doesn't, but Assassin's Creed does, that's okay. It would be better that they all come on, but it's better than nothing coming out either. Excuse me, I just had a freaking 14-ounce steak that was delicious. Go ahead.
Burp.
What do you think about that? What? Wait, what was that? Why did you silence?
Sorry, my cat. Yeah, that made me laugh.
And I do love my cat. I don't love my dogs.
Yeah.
I do love my cat.
She like meowed at the door, so it just made me laugh, and I lost my train of thought. Yeah, if like that, I think that's like Assassin's Creed is like the lowest of like a multi-console game to make it to the Switch.
Well, yeah, at one point it was like a beloved franchise,
And now it's
kind of
just like a cheap.
the new Assassin's
And it's
Creed.
Ubisoft, so they're great with Nintendo, working with Nintendo.
Yeah, they're probably Nintendo's best third-party partner.
So it still is great though to have games like that, but I'd rather see stuff like Red Dead, Skyrim, which is coming out on it,
Yeah.
Mass Effect, stuff like that, which are more AAA games. But this Assassin's Creed actually has potential to be good. They actually took a year off of it instead of milking it to death.
Yeah.
The last couple of years.
The right decision for sure.
So maybe it can become a great series again, and see it boost sales for the Switch.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, if Red Dead ended up coming on, something like that, that would prove that the console is powerful enough to do so.
And you can ride a
and
horse
then just imagine
while playing the game.
on a train. I don't know, or on a plane.
Yeah,
Like,
and a riding. You could be a cowboy.
Yeah, you could be
Outlast.
riding a horse while playing
playing-
Switch on a horse, riding the horse
It's the
in
ideal
Red Dead
way.
Redemption 2.
Ideal way to play.
There's
Red
no better
Dead.
way to play that game. So that's totally how the special edition version should come with the horse, like for sure.
Yeah.
That would just make sense.
So
I
it's
don't
a missed
see why they can't
opportunity
pull that
if
off.
they don't do it.
Yeah, I don't understand them at all. No, but really, like that type of game would be perfect. But Assassin's Creed, I'm just afraid of it being like we get like 3 good third-party games and then it ends. Then third-party just goes away forever.
Yeah.
Next topic is that's a super lame drum roll. Turtle Rock Studios has announced a new game. Turtle Rock Studios is the developer behind Evolve, which was a critically acclaimed and very interesting game, but a flop to the billionth degree.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Just did not do well. I don't think people make fun of Titanfall 1 for being like a game where like a bunch of people were playing it and then the community just fell off the face of the earth. Like a billion times more so for this game. No, like within minutes, no one was talking about or playing this game anymore.
Crazy.
I still say that the biggest problem with Evolve, in my opinion, was like your health was so high, it made no sense to me. Where like you could just get punched in the face by this monster like 30 times and you're totally fine, and you can unload a bazillion bullets in this monster and he's totally fine. It's like, this is, if it was actually a scary, creepy, like you know, a couple hits and you're dead type thing.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about these guys is the Turtle Rock Studio guys are a big part of their team is the people that made the Left 4 Dead games. And Left 4 Dead is awesome because it's fast-paced and it's hectic, but it's legit. Like, if you can easily die in that game. And it's like, teamwork's important, and you feel scared. You're like, oh, there's a billion zombies coming at me. What do I do? Yeah. In this game, it's a monster that's like 50 feet tall, and yet I wasn't even nervous. No, whatever, here comes the monster guy. Yeah. I found him. It's like, it was, I think there was some not developmental, can't get the word out, some design. There were some massive design flaws in that game where it kind of fell off, not to what it could have been.
There was that stupid, glitchy monster that you could be where you're floating.
Oh, that one was stupid.
And it was
like,
just like,
could like disappear.
You couldn't even tell what was going on. It was ridiculous.
Turtle Rock has this statement. We are developing a new franchise set in an all-new universe that leverages the style of gameplay our community loves and expects from Turtle Rock, which I think would be co-op gameplay is like their thing. Ideal, like Left 4 Dead and Evolve. That's kind of what they mean when they say that. The gameplay style of our community loves. We're focusing on what we do best. Heart-pounding, moment-to-moment, online co-op FPS action. And with Perfect World Entertainment as our partner, we will always make sure that our players come first by listening to them and growing the game based on how they play and interact over what we hope is many years to come. We cannot wait to show you what we have in store. Okay, so a couple interesting things there is they said, we're going to build the game with your feedback over time. So that's kind of proof that it's going to, they're hoping it's one of these games where you play it, you like it, you keep playing it, they keep updating it, they keep improving it, etc., etc. You got 10 seconds, Micah. Tell me what your thoughts are about this.
Cool.
You 10 seconds and you only need to do like a half a second?
Yeah, looks interesting. I mean, sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, see what they do.
Cool. You ever watch Community? Cool.
I think a little. From you.
Yeah, that's Abed. Cool.
Wait, what was that? What does it say?
Troy and Abbott in the morning.
It's all terrain, dummy.
Yeah, that's my favorite joke ever. It's all terrain. He's like, you can't bring that four-wheeler into school. Yes, I can. It's all terrain, dummy. Oh, I love it. Okay. Next topic is EA has announced a new game, and this isn't like the new Battlefront or the new whatever. They're introducing our second EA Originals title, Sea of Solitude. The first original EA program title was that Yarn one. I forget what it was called all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like shoot, let me see if I have it here. I don't have it. Oh, wow.
Little red yarn guy.
Yeah. So last June, we announced our EA Originals program to bring truly special new games and small developers to millions of players worldwide. Today, I'm pleased to introduce our second EA Originals title, Sea of Solitude. It is developed by this person, can't pronounce her name, and her passionate team at Joe Mai Games, I think is what it is, in Berlin, Germany. It's a very interesting looking game. Graphically, it is slightly kind of cel shaded. The story is basically if a person is left alone for too long, they turn into a monster. And the main character of this game is turning into a monster, and she wants to stop herself from turning into a monster. So it sounds like an interesting plot. The cool thing about this is that just like Ubisoft did a couple years ago when they had Valiant Hearts and Child of Light, which were both phenomenal games, Child of Light being one of my favorite games I've ever played in my entire life, they looked for a moment like they were going to be like, we're going to have these little indie-style games to go along with the Assassin's Creed and stuff like that. And Child of Light, I know had great critical success, and I know it sold well. Same with Valiant Hearts, great critical success, and it sold well, especially for them being smaller games to develop. So I don't know what happened to them. I don't know like why they stopped making those games in that way.
I'd look forward to that.
Oh, all the time. I would love that
Sometimes
kind
those
of
are
stuff.
some of like the best types of games.
They totally can be like small, condensed, really smart, fun games. So that's what this game is. Sea of Solitude. At least that's what EA is saying that they're doing. So it's a two-part thing. Sea of Solitude is their next game in this whole the EA Originals program. And then the other part of the story is that the fact that the EA Original program exists, and it's really, really cool. What do you think about it, Micah?
Yeah, game looks pretty. We don't really know what kind of genre it is yet, right?
Not from what I could tell.
Probably some kind of like walk around, explore.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
Probably, because all these types of games are usually very story driven.
Definitely.
Little short stories. So
usually cryptic story too, where you can't really tell what's going on.
Yeah. So those are always fun.
Yeah,
so.
Interesting games. Yeah.
And I hope they Ubisoft sees from this and like, we
forgot we were doing that too. Yeah. They should go back to it. They have the whole Ubi art engine. They were like freaking out about how cool it was, and Rayman was on it, and Valiant Hearts is on it, and Child of Light is on it, and then I don't know what else. Like they just stopped.
Sad.
It's really cool. That Ubi art engine's awesome because it specializes in being able to hand draw something. What?
We got to end this. This is the second time we did this.
What'd I do?
We're breaking our rule.
Sorry. Okay.
But yeah, it uses
next topic.
It uses like hand drawn real stuff, and they turn it
puts it into the game. Yeah, which is really cool.
Into bits, into digital
bits where you can run around on these bits.
Yep.
Sounds kind of dirty in some weird ways. All right. Next
you
topic.
Made it.
Next topic. Friday the 13th has a release more solid. I'm trying to start this timer now too. Solid. What? Friday the 13th. The game.
Out Friday the 13th.
It's coming out on Friday the 13th. Perfect. Probably. It should. I hope it does. In spring 2017. It should.
Okay.
Kickstarted way back when. Friday the 13th has had some success.
We're going to check if there's a Friday the 13th.
What, in spring?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do that. The game, Friday the 13th, the game is interesting. It's an asymmetric game. We were just talking about Evolve. It's the same type of thing. You know, the big monster in Evolve is controlled by one person, and then there are 4 people that control the other 4 members of the team, and they try to hunt down, and kill this monster while the monster tries to, kill one by one, all of them. Friday the 13th is a similar type of thing. There are some campers, and you control those campers, and then there is one guy, who is Jason, obviously, and who's trying to kill all of the campers. It's definitely a really cool idea. The little bit of gameplay I saw from it looked interesting. Again, it's the same type of thing with Evolve. That was my complaint. When I watched the gameplay, people were seemingly like getting captured by Jason and somehow being able to wiggle away and run, and he was just standing right in front of them. So I hope they clean it up, and I hope they have some really cool ideas. One of the ideas about it was that like he gets more powerful the more scared the players are, and that supposedly it was supposed to have in these really smart, intuitive ways that it knew that the players were scared. Where like if he's just standing, look at you in a window, and you see him, like the scared meter jumps up because he was just creepily standing there, or like making noises and stuff like that. So if that's the case, and they end up actually going through with that, that could be freaking awesome. So it's definitely interesting to me. I think it also, let me go back to the page here. It's coming to Xbox One and PC in spring of 2017. So as of now, it looks like it's not a PS4 game, which is interesting. I'm not sure why they decided to do that.
Sony didn't want that game.
Yeah, it was kickstarted, so I don't know exactly. Yeah. But maybe I'm reading it in wrong. I might be. Never mind. It does look like it's coming on PS4. So scratch everything I just said.
Okay.
Did you find a Friday the 13th in spring, Micah?
There is not. There's a 13th Thursday and a 13th Saturday, but no Friday.
Lame. That's super lame.
But yeah, I hope they take their time to fix it up, because what we saw of it kind of took you away from it.
Yeah, I was like, this looks really cool.
What I usually fear is what happens. It's hard to make something like that work out really well.
It's super hard. It really is.
Really is.
But hopefully they can figure it out. They've got a couple more months, so I don't have the most faith, but maybe they can surprise us.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the end of that one. Next topic. Do you want to talk about the Xbox Live free games and the PlayStation 4 free games? You just want to skip that?
Well, I guess now that you mentioned it.
Oh, okay.
At least name them. See if we have any thoughts on them.
Well, that link's not coming up.
I'm trying to remember
saved the link.
Oh yeah, there's a tentacle game on the on the PS4.
Oh man, this is lame.
Like
okay,
the something of the
talk about the Day of the Tentacle.
Day of the Tentacles, which is like a walk around, clicking. Oh, what do you call that?
A point and click adventure.
Point and click adventures, which are always fun. I used to play what was it called? Pajama Sam.
Oh,
I
yeah,
love
the
those
best.
games on the computer. Really weird, super cool. You can click like anything like has like it on a chair, and you click the chair and then it starts dancing. Or like there's a mouse behind it that jumps out of nowhere and then like slingshots a little stone at like another mouse, and you're like, what the heck? Stuff like that. But yeah, they're usually really fun. I haven't really looked into it yet, but I'll probably download it. There's also like some other game that's like rated M, I think. On the PlayStation free game.
I still can't get. Okay, here we go. So I got it.
Is that gold?
It is. It's taking me forever to actually find this. Microsoft, we're getting Killer Instinct Season 2 Ultra Edition for free. Nobody cares. And then this is Xbox One. We're just going to talk about Xbox One exclusively. And then there is... what is this one?
Tetris? That was just a random thing. Okay, we're being too silent right now.
This is super lame. These articles are awful. I had an article saved. Okay, World of Van Helsing Death Trap is it's a brand new game, so that's the cool part. I like when they do that. It's a game that they didn't just bring back like as it being free a couple months later. It's brand new, so that's the good part about it. And then there's Rayman Origins and The Cave for 360. So the 360 one has some like legit great games.
Yeah.
Xbox One kind of has whack ones in my opinion this time. And then PS4 we got The Day of the Tentacle Remastered, which is a cult classic game that people liked a lot.
Yeah.
And then PS3 owners are getting Blazer Rush, and the one that you were talking about is The War of Mine.
Something Child.
I don't see anything child on here.
Oh, it had like a longer description. It's like The World of Mine, Something Child.
The War of Mine, Other Words is the name of the game.
But it, what I saw from it was like, I think it's some kind of survival type game.
Yeah, like a side-scrolling strategy survival game. Not as much based on like getting killed by stuff as much as being killed as trying to survive the world.
Yeah,
if that makes
so
sense.
it looks pretty depressing.
Oh,
so
it's super depressing.
I don't know if I could want to get into that, but
Time's up. Sorry.
Yep, that's fine.
That's it for Speed Rush. We kind of ended super sloppy there, but oh well. We actually have some extended Speed Rush type thing.
So we didn't
speed
end
run, excuse me.
on a bad note then.
No. We have cool speed run type
more.
topic to go to, but there was a whole bunch of Nintendo goodness that was all rumored in over the last week because we're getting closer and closer and closer to the Switch reveal, which I'm pumped about. And since there was so much, there was no way I was going to even be able to read it all within the timer frame. So I'm just going to go through all these real quick and kind of give our thoughts on what's going on with the different possible Nintendo Switch rumors. Actually, before that, we actually do have one more speedrun topic because I totally forgot. The classic mini Super Nintendo
Oh yeah,
has been rumored.
actually get ready and
it
pre-order
looks like
this.
there's some trademarking going around for this Super Nintendo Classic mini version. First of all, this could be the best thing in the universe.
Got Mario World.
I don't know how they're gonna fit 30 games in this.
Super Metroid.
Like Super Metroid and Mario
to the
and,
Past.
and Chrono Trigger
Mario
and Secret
Kart.
of Mana.
Oh my gosh,
and
Chrono
Mario Kart and Final
Yoshi's
Fantasy
Island.
games and Yoshi's Island and
Okay, this is too much.
Castlevania, Super
Can't handle this.
Castlevania. There's like
Compared to the
Mega Man
NES,
X.
Like the difference between like the NES and the SNES too. Like NES, these games pretty short. Switch to the SNES, and these are like full blown games.
Yeah,
basically.
huge games. Yeah, like the NES is they were arcade type
This would be
games that were
insane.
ported over in a way.
Yeah.
The idea, or at least the idea of what arcade games were like. And then the Super Nintendo was the first time. The Super Nintendo really is the first time when games became what games are today, where they're big, long, drawn-out experiences that are meant to take place over a long period of time, where you're stuck in this world.
Yeah. Not just throwing a
And-
quarter in a
Exactly,
machine and playing a
where
quick
like
game.
you're playing, there actually were arcade cabinets where Super Mario, the original NES version of Super Mario Bros. Were in those cabinets because they were using them
That's cool.
to help sell the NES. They were like, here's you can play it here in your arcade, and guess what? You can go play this game at home. But still,
At home.
yeah. But that's kind of like proving that it's still as great as Mario is. And then you still have something like Mario Bros. 3, which does start to get into more of a deep, like, game that we know of today. But for sure, once the Super Nintendo jumped around, that's when, like, here's the big thing though. If they do the same thing that they did with the Nintendo Classic, I'm going to be so pissed. Like, I still can't find one. I tried to find one for you, Micah, for Christmas.
Yeah.
It was going to be a gift for me too.
Same to you as well.
Couldn't find it. Couldn't find it anywhere. Unless I want to pay like $300 on eBay. Screw that.
I guess with like school and everything, I didn't pay attention to it enough, and I was like,
well, I didn't think it was gonna be that bad.
I should have foresaw, especially with stuff like amiibos and stuff, where it's like literally impossible to find them.
So annoying though.
So make sure that if you want one of these,
don't pre-order it because I need to pre-order mine.
Yeah.
And then you can pre-order
or
yours.
like literally eye like your phone or computer or whatever to find out exactly what's going on, every bit of information, so you can get your SNES hands onto it.
I didn't actually set a timer because I forgot that there was one, but I'm pretty sure we're around the timer. So
yeah, for that anyway.
Yeah. Okay, now we're gonna go on to, like I was saying, we had a couple extra topics.
Bunch of rumors.
Just some Nintendo Switch rumors that I want to go over real quick. One is interesting. The dev kit that everybody was given in October is more powerful than the dev kit that they were given in summer. So this is interesting news because a lot of the rumors of the power of the Switch being a little bit lower was based on the dev kits that they had previously. And Nintendo has since then given them a more powerful one, which means there's even a chance that the final March version will be even more powerful than that. Still don't think it's going to be, for sure on the Scorpio level or the PS4 Pro level, but if it could at least be on the Xbox One and PS4 level, just straight line flat with those, that would be fine.
I hope.
Because they're going to continue making games for those two consoles for the next 3 to 4 years, and it would be a huge help if it could actually be that powerful. Couple other interesting thing. One dumb thing is that the demo version does not have an Ethernet port. Which would be stupid. It could be another situation where you have to buy an adapter where you plug a USB in. And that's lame for two reasons. One, it makes me have to buy a USB port, which I have one now for the Wii U, so I can just use that one. So that's kind of lame, but it wouldn't be that big of a deal. The bigger deal is that there are kids out there that don't have that port. So that means that I'm playing Smash Bros. Online with my USB, and he's playing it with a Wi-Fi connection. So I'm doing everything I possibly can to make sure my connection is as good as it can get, and he doesn't have that option at all because he's not even smart enough to go buy the USB port or whatever, or too lazy, he doesn't want to dump the $10 into it, not thinking about it, whatever. Yeah. And then our experience is not as good because of that. So I hope that they actually have an Ethernet port because they better. And
it's 2017, people.
Yeah, I know, it's ridiculous. But what was it?
That sounded weird saying
the 360 was the opposite. The 360 could only be hardwired, and you had to, the original 360, I believe, and you had to buy a port to Wi-Fi it. So it was the opposite.
Well, that's good. Funny. Everyone should just be forced to do the hardwire.
Yeah,
because
screw Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
Wi-Fi is good for my phone.
Exactly.
It's not good for freaking like online Call
Real
of Duty
gaming
and like freaking fighters and stuff that second to second gameplay is important, and like it's all jumpy and stuff because it can't keep up because you're on your 2 megabits per second Wi-Fi. Go home. Another bit of the rumor is the Nintendo Switch could be region free, which means I can buy a Japanese game and slap it in there, so that'd be great. But the other part of that rumor is that it looks like there will be no 3G or LTE support, which would mean that the only way you can go online would be, when you're at home, would be the Wi-Fi, and when you're out, or the Ethernet cable, and when you're out, it would be Wi-Fi. So having Wi-Fi is great. You can have it inside of a McDonald's or whatever, wherever you go, plugging in Wi-Fi, it's going to work, or you go to a friend's house or something. But do you think that it should have some kind of 3G on the go, Michael? What's your thoughts about that? Because that's going to open an entirely different. The Vita tried that and failed hardcore. So what do you think that just Wi-Fi only and not having 3G? Because this is a console that you're supposed to go on the road. But would your thoughts to be like, hey, if I'm on the road, I'm gonna just play single player type games, and when I'm back home, that's when I'm gonna get into my online multiplayer
or something. Can't play that. You only can play like the single player, which is boring. Really
lame.
You want to play online. That's what the game is about. So that would be awesome if they had some kind of service that they teamed up with AT&T or a company like that. I think they kind of don't know what it's going to be like yet, the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they're afraid to have like a whole service and plan that all out. But if not, maybe in the future, if the Switch ends up becoming a hit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then we could see that, and then that'd be awesome to be playing legit online games on the go.
But we were just complaining about Wi-Fi. 3G definitely can't handle some like hardcore Wi-Fi,
True.
some like Splatoon or something. So
Yeah.
at the same time, it doesn't really make. But at least for like doing things online, like just checking out your checking out games,
Whatever
maybe
their
buying,
community,
maybe starting to buy,
Miiverse or whatever they have on
exactly, the community features and going through the store and that kind of stuff. That's what it would be nice, but it really doesn't make sense to have it. So I get that.
And anyone who uses Wi-Fi, I'm sorry, maybe it just doesn't work out, can't connect it because you're up in your bedroom or something. So anyone who was offended by that.
What, when we were like yelling at Wi-Fi earlier?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if Wi-Fi is what you have, it's what you have. But if you're playing, don't play me in Smash Bros with your Wi-Fi, because I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be super pissed. Okay, fun rumors now for the Nintendo Switch. Apparently, these are all just kind of a bunch of different rumors and stuff that's leaking out there. Some of it very much based on truth from what people are finding, like from a dev kit, and other stuff is from people who have had their hands on it and had some questions asked to them and whatnot. The Joy-Con controller on the left will have a record button, Micah. So it's going to have the whole Xbox record that, or share feature that the PlayStation has, the share button. It looks like it's going to have a record button for little bits of video or pictures and whatnot.
That'd be cool.
Same thing that the other consoles are doing. It's definitely a cool little feature. I use it for sure when I'm playing Call of Duty and something crazy happens, or Rocket League for sure.
Exactly. So no one wants to be doing it when they like get up to the top of a hill or something in Breath of the Wild. It's like, oh, it's pretty, and like you put that on Miiverse or whatever. It's supposed to be for crazy glitches or stuff online.
Yeah,
that's mainly what it should be for.
Oh, don't worry, it's gonna be plenty of dumb stuff.
It's gonna be full of that. And
it is kind of annoying though, because then I'll watch a video. I'll be on the Xbox store, and for some stupid reason, they won't have a gameplay trailer. They won't have a trailer for their game on the Xbox store. I'm like, what's wrong with you? Do you want me to look at your game? So then I have to watch the clips, and then the entire clip is just somebody looking at like a foot that's sticking out of the wall.
Exactly.
Because they go, look, there's a foot over here. And I'm like, yeah, that is funny.
I bet that messed
up.
That
is funny, but now I don't want to buy your game because I want to see gameplay for this game. Yeah. Anyway.
So that's mainly what I think it should be for, though. No Nintendo, though. It's probably just going to end up being just like, I don't know. They're going to have some kind of like photo mode. Yeah, or you're like just dressing up in some like weird Mario costume, and then you take a picture of yourself and put it on online to everyone. But cool idea. They're keeping up with the times.
Exactly. They're making sure that they don't like kind of at least with something.
Yeah, which you could do that if you click the home button on the Wii U, and then go to Miiverse, it would like say, do you want to take a picture?
Yeah, pictures, but not video. Video would be the big thing. That's what record means. Okay.
Yeah.
Next thing is the Switch runs about 3 hours undocked on maximum settings. So battery rumors are jumping all over the place. I still think 3 hours on maximum settings is a decent amount because it's going to have a really fast charger. And if you're out on a trip or something, 3 hours is a decent amount of time. If if you're playing for 3 hours straight, get a car charger if you're in a car, or plug it into somewhere.
I think I might have mentioned this before, but yeah, car chargers, airplanes a lot of the time in the airport and in the airplane, like newer planes have.
And to go along with the same...
They have plugs.
Exactly, and to go along with that same rumor, it charges via USB-C, I believe, and it's saying that it does not take long for a full charge at all. So if it, maybe it takes 20 minutes to completely charge up. I mean, that's what my phone takes. My phone... takes 20-25 minutes and it's charged back up to 100%, and then it's good to go for a long time again. So
yeah,
same basic thing. Micah, you want to start the Hallelujah chorus? Friend codes are gone, and you'll finally be able to just add people like every other console.
That's
like how long did it take?
Oh my god.
Hey, do you want to be my friend? Yeah, I really do. Okay, here's my 25 number friend code thing.
Here's my social security number.
Here it is. Now we can be friends. Here's the 17 numbers and letters. Never mind, I don't want to be your friend. That's way too taxing.
It's retarded.
Like, thank God they're getting rid of friend codes. Thank God. If this is legit. Thank God. This is an interesting one that I hadn't really thought about, but a rumor that seems legitimate. Games like Overwatch and other always online titles will require tweaking if they are going to come to the console due to the portability of the system. So this is definitely true. Again, it's something that I hadn't really thought about. So there are plenty of games that need to be online always, even games that you wouldn't think need to be, and they don't really need to be. Like Hitman. Hitman 3 needs to be on not Hitman 3, excuse me. The new Hitman game needs to be online all the time. So if that game were to come to the Switch, they'd totally have to tweak it. They'd be like, okay, never mind, it doesn't have to be online all the time. But as soon as you go online, that's when it would post. It would like save those features in a box somewhere, kind of, and then as soon as you jump back online, it'll shoot all your records out, or you can purchase, the new levels and stuff like that, because a lot of those games have like microtransactions type stuff. You can purchase those when you're, plugged in Wi-Fi somewhere, and then when you're offline, you can. So a game like Overwatch just won't work. But they're gonna have to tell you that. They're gonna have to, if Overwatch were to come out. Let's just pretend that the Switch came out last year, or let's pretend that Overwatch was coming out this summer. Game of the Year edition. Yeah, or something like that. Whatever. Overwatch was coming out this summer for all platforms. If they wanted it to be on the Switch, they're going to have to plaster all over that box, hey, guess what? This is not going to work. You're not going to be able to play this game, which is what they already say. You need an online connection, but you're not going to be able to play this game portably, which is a big part of what the Switch can do. But I don't think that's a big deal. If I'm a smart person, and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm on the go, I'm going to bring the Mario game to play on the go, and I'm back at home, I'm going to turn on Overwatch, you know what I mean? Or Splatoon, or whatever. But they're going to have to they're going to have to do some tweaking. It's not just a message they tell people, they're also going to have to do some tweaking to allow at least parts of the game to be available without a connection, because it can't be like that I literally can't touch the game. I should be able to, if I'm on the go, at least mess with settings and stuff like that, even if I can't go in on an online match, obviously, because I'm not online.
And these, the day and ages, though, people really don't like restrictions when it comes to these type of things, though. So even if it's a simple, I'll play this game only when I'm at home and play a different game on the go, people aren't going to be happy with that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hard to negotiate with people with that type of thing. So some kind of service thing would be great then for internet. The Switch being a mobile device basically too.
Yeah.
It really should have some kind of mobile data type thing, because many games do play online, are required to play online that are on phones and stuff and tablets, like Pokemon Go, the new Mario one, the game that you played some, not Clash of Clans. What's
Clash Royale?
Yeah, Clash Royale. You're playing online. You're playing online against people. I guess it's a little different then, but
no, you are
basically if you have a device that's supposed to be for on the go, you really should have some kind of thing like that.
Yeah, but they're not Wi-Fi. Going to. So that's the.
We don't know.
I don't think they're going to. Though.
Not likely.
I really don't think they're going to, because who's going to pay? What are you going to do? Is it going to be like? Is it like a tablet? Maybe they can have it as a possibility.
Yeah.
But then how does that even work?
I think it will hurt it, though, if they don't.
Yeah.
But
so you think that like a tablet, like an iPad, I can just buy an iPad and be like, I'm fine with Wi-Fi only. Or I can actually go to a store and go get 3G, go get broadband connection for this. You're thinking and hoping that there's a chance that the Switch can do something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe.
This is a revolutionary console, really. So there's a lot that they need to work and negotiate and work out with, but I hope it does really well.
Yeah, I hope so too.
And yeah, all these little things like how long does the battery last, that's a really important thing. Connection, all those different types of things. Yeah, really revolutionary, and this is what I love about Nintendo. I feel like other companies such as PlayStation, Xbox kind of made a business out of it, where they're afraid to do new things. Really, they're kind of just going with like, okay, we need to get a new console out. Same thing.
It's called the blue ocean. The blue ocean approach is what they call it. I forget the exact analogy of the reasoning, but basically it's an idea of instead of competing directly with other marketplaces on, if it's a burger joint and they're just like, I want to make my burgers taste better, so you just continue trying to make your burgers taste better, and then the other place is like, I also want my burgers to taste better. That's pretty much what the PlayStation and Xbox are doing. I just want my games to play better, to run better, to look better, etc. And they're dabbling with stuff like VR or motion controls and stuff like that, so that's where that stuff comes from. But Nintendo is like, yes, I'm running a burger shop, but why not start to sell freaking, I don't know,
Was that like that thumb thing or finger thing that they tried to do that like sensed your
the vitality sensor? Yeah. Exactly.
Crazy
but like to
stuff
go
like
to the
that.
burger analogy, I'm saying like the burger places are going back and forth just saying I want to make a better tasting burger. And Nintendo's like, I'm also a burger joint place, but we're also going to sell pizza. You know what I mean? And you're like, whoa, but you're a burger joint. You're like, yeah, but but it would be something that you never heard of. Pizza's not even a good example. It would be more like
something really weird.
But literally a food you've never heard of. Because that's what the Wii was. The Wii was like a console you never heard of. What is this waggle technology thing? It's stupid. Oh, just kidding. It's really awesome. Wii Sports is great. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it has its flaws, but that's been their thing. Like the DS. Why in the world would I have 2 screens? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Just kidding. It's awesome, and all these games are incredible.
Thing.
So
check out our podcast.
The last
podcast.
Yeah,
we talked about
how awesome
the greatness
DS is.
of that
exactly.
console.
Yeah. Anyway, but that's the idea. That's what the Switch is. It's a brand new thing.
Nintendo's the only company out there console-wise that does stuff like this. So.
They're taking gambles and risks.
I want
to see
them
succeed
in this.
But yeah, I definitely want to. And then one more rumor type thing is additional Joy-Cons can be sold separately, and there's a rumor that maybe they can either be designed differently, for example, like GameCube style Joy-Cons or something like that.
Little yellow thing analog that they have for GameCube. I love that thing.
The C thing.
Yeah.
And then docks are also going to be reportedly sold separately and be super dirt cheap. The cool thing about that is that if you could just buy a dock for $10-15 or whatever, then you can put it at, like we mentioned this on a couple episodes before. You can put it in different rooms in your house. You can put it if your parents are separated, you can put one in your mom's house, one in your dad's house, or if you go to your grandma's house every weekend or something, or you just throw it in a backpack along with it and still have yours plugged in at home and then whatever. So that's what helps it be more portable. The fact that you're supposedly be able to buy more of these docks for cheap, which is really, really cool. I imagine we can end up having a couple of them. That way we can just plop it in upstairs and play it there or whatever. So, cool. That's it for that. We're going to go on to our main topic of the day. Whew, Micah. 2016 is over. It is 2017.
Crazy. When I said that earlier, I was like, it's 2017, people. I forget what I was saying it for. I think it was because of the friend code things or something like that.
Definitely.
It was.
Yeah, that's what it was.
It felt weird saying it, but it felt good at the same time. It worked.
It's 2017. I'm going to write 2016 by accident when I write down dates for the next 2 months.
When I'm doing a test or something.
Exactly.
Whoops.
But with 2016 coming to a close and 2017 just beginning, I wanted us to do our official Words and Stuff Game of the Year awards. I'm super excited about this. Maybe this podcast lasts 20,000 years, or maybe it's done in like a year and a half. But either way, I'd like to be able to do like a yearly award type thing, just for what games we think are the best. And the categories that I have selected here are not the super typical categories. There's some fun ones, but they're also not genre based. I didn't want to have genre-based categories because we're only 2 people, so it's hard for us to be able to get into every single genre. And honestly, I don't know what the best strategy game is of the year, what the frick, or whatever. Or you had the best racing and the best sports and the best action and the best shooter and the best strategy and the best puzzle and the best action adventure and the best sports. I may have even said that already. I don't know, but there's like an endless amount of different categories. So instead, I narrowed it down to just PS4 exclusive, Xbox One exclusive, Nintendo exclusive, and then indie, and then best indie game, best third-party game, which would be like a AAA kind of third-party game that it goes on multiple consoles. That's the idea of that category. And then some different style ones, best surprise, the most disappointing game, and then I have some fun topics that I'll mention later on, including some that kind of go into 2017, like most anticipated for 2017, and then finalize it with our game of the year. Did we even talk about what the game of the year is yet, Micah? We might have to argue about this at the end here. Let's just save it because we didn't. I told you about everything together. We picked all of them, but we didn't finalize the game of the year. But we can argue about that.
I forgot about that.
We can fight about it. We can fist fight over it.
Yeah.
Okay, Micah. First ever award we're gonna give to is your PS4 award. So, what is the PS4 exclusive Words and Stuff Game of the Year.
If you didn't know that theme, I was just humming. I was kind of doing that over what you were saying.
Yeah.
That was Uncharted 4.
Uncharted 4 is the PS4 exclusive Game of the Year?
No, I just wanted to hum it.
Oh.
No, just kidding. It is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Talk about it for the next few seconds while I do something.
Great game. The last basically of the series. I played all 4 in like a year span, probably less than that. Just I never had that experience. I got a PlayStation. I was like, I gotta play Uncharted games if I'm getting a PlayStation. Perfect. All 3 of them in that trilogy pack that they had. Played all those, loved it. Took like a couple month break then until Uncharted 4 came out. Played that, loved that one too. One of my favorite series now for sure. Definitely deserves it. I wish it won at the Game Awards.
Hey, these are our awards. These are 100 times better than the Game Awards.
This is a real true fan opinion. For sure pick this game. What I'm trying to think of the others anyway.
To be honest, this is the next category is I'm letting you kind of pick the PlayStation one. Mike is a PlayStation player. I'm an Xbox player, and we're both Nintendo players. Yeah, that's kind of how it works. So when the Xbox One comes up, that'll be more my pick and my selection. And I'm gonna rant about this a bit, but I'm gonna rant about it with yours too. The exclusive this year actually games across the board this year kind of stink. To be honest, I don't think it was that great of 2016 to me wasn't that great of a year for gaming.
15 was way better.
15 was 1,000 times better. I just think 2016 had some good games, had some fun games, but it was missing on the Uncharted 4s of the world. It only had a couple Uncharted 4 type games, which is top notch, AAA. And we were mentioning earlier, I love indie style games. I love small games.
Yeah.
If you guys remember last week, I did my review recap for Hyper Light Drifter. I gave it a 10. And I also have a couple years ago Child of Light being a 10. So those type of games I flipping adore. What are you nodding at me for?
Nothing.
You're here? Okay, never mind.
You're fine.
So
I was kind of just shaking my head.
Okay. I was like, what are you doing? But then I also have Witcher 3 would be a 10 to me as well. So Witcher 3 is from last year is a huge grand scale AAA type game. I feel like we were lacking on more of those because we had Metal Gear last year for that type of game. We had Witcher. We had Batman. We had quite a few just huge, awesome games. And I felt like this year was lacking for sure.
A couple of those, like Dark Souls 3.
Dark Souls 3
Uncharted
is one of them.
4. Those were the 2.
Gears of War 4 is the big Xbox one. But there just wasn't many. But Uncharted 4, what no matter what, even if there were 5 other fantastic AAA PlayStation 4 exclusives, Uncharted 4 deserves to win it because it capped off that series beautifully.
For sure.
On to the next one. The Xbox One exclusive of the year. Words and Stuff of the Year award for Xbox One exclusive goes to Forza Horizon 3. Now, my little caveat to the Xbox Awards goes to the fact that the Xbox exclusive this year were terrible.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm an Xbox player. I love Xbox. I like playing it. I like going there for a lot of my third-party type games, like the Call of Duties of the world. We were mentioning Assassin's Creed earlier. There's quite a few of them that I get a lot of enjoyment out of. I like playing it on my ecosystem of the Xbox. But I also bought an Xbox because I like some of the exclusives, and including like Halo and stuff like that. The Halo series has kind of gone downhill for a while, but there wasn't even a Halo game this year anyway. Halo 5 last year was okay. Halo 4 was really bad. Halo Reach was really, really bad. The last Halo game that I really loved was ODST. But still, I'm personally, this is our personal opinions on these things. We're not going to try to be subjective and be like, look at the grander scheme of what games deserved it. We're looking at the games that deserved it in our eyes. And I'm just not a Gears fan, so I'm not going to give the award to Gears. But I'm giving it to Forza Horizon 3. But other than those 2 games, looking at the list, I looked online, I looked at the games that I played throughout the year, and I could not find exclusive Xbox One games that mattered to me, that were really fun, that I can stand behind and say this game deserves Game of the Year. Quantum Flakes is the cereal that you like to call.
That's what I made up.
What it's called, Quantum Break, right? Isn't that what it is?
Yeah.
So Quantum Break blew up, then you would have
Flakes.
made up the cereal called Quantum Flakes.
Yep.
And my cereal that I made up is Instagrams. which are delicious.
And I made up
cracker.
Instagram crackers.
No, that's what Instagrams are.
I said that forever.
No, whatever.
Okay, I'll give it to
you. So yeah, Xbox One exclusive, Forza Horizon 3. Now we're going to go on to the Nintendo exclusive. Now the interesting thing about this one is it's not just Wii U. This is the Wii U, this is the 3DS, and this is even phones for the Nintendo games.
Whoa.
So the possible nominees could have been like Fire Emblem, it could have been Pokemon Sun and Moon, and then it could have been Mario Run or Pokemon Go for the phone.
Yeah. Rhythm Heaven.
But the winner is a good game that came out years ago. And I'm not usually the fan of remastering, but because Nintendo had a really slow year, Twilight Princess Remastered for the Wii U is the Nintendo
Twilight Princess
exclusive
HD.
Words and Stuff Game of the Year. Micah, if you are accepting this award, what would your response be?
For the year, the pathetic year that Nintendo has had.
Yeah.
This game is, I mean, we're giving it to a remake, so it's a little sad, but this game is great.
It's better than great.
Yeah.
Anybody who wants to poo-poo Twilight Princess, I don't get it. I don't get it. Is it too big? The game's too long. Is it too adventurous? Is it too fun for you?
Yeah.
Is the level design too much?
It's like it's a freaking field.
It's a field.
What do you expect?
Have you ever been to a real field before? Guess what? They're not filled with monsters and creatures.
And if it was filled with things in it, it wouldn't be a field. Like, what do you want, a house there? You want it to be full
then it
of
wouldn't
stuff?
be a field anymore. Hyrule Field was too empty. Have you seen the Hyrule Field from Ocarina of Time? There was nothing there.
No one complained about that.
It was way emptier than Twilight Princess. The field being empty is the dumbest thing. Just like too much water in Ruby and Sapphire for Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire makes no sense to me. That's the world they created. It was a world where it's supposed to be like on a bay, like on the ocean. So part of it is on land and part of it is over here. Too much water. Like, what the frick kind of dumb complaint? Can you find
Pokemon
legitimate things to complain about? Can you complain about like the gameplay not being good or the story not being good or whatever? Like, too much. The field is too empty.
I think that really is the main complaint with it.
What, the field?
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
I can find 100,000 things to complain about Skyward Sword, the worst Zelda game, 3D Zelda game of all time.
So sad.
You can't tell me that Twilight Princess is awesome, and the Wii U version is awesome. They did some nice cleaning up with the graphics. It's not perfect remaster, but it's nice.
No,
it's fun, and it's still one of the best Zelda games of all time.
So it takes it for the best Nintendo game of the year and one of the best Nintendo games ever.
Oh, for sure. I love it so much. Twilight Princess is one of my all-time favorites, and I don't understand that people try to poo-poo that game.
It's okay.
It's okay. So I get heated.
Blood's boiling over here.
The Words and Stuff Game of the Year Awards. Best Indie Game. Okay, so this one could go to a few things, but it's a game that I have played recently and love.
And he's talked about it quite a few
Hyper Light
times.
Drifter.
You can't get over it.
So if you asked me what is the best indie game a month ago, I would say Inside, hands down. And Inside is an amazing game. It's just one of the. It's
great.
It's an all. I can't explain how great that game is. But Hyper Light Drifter wins. I've talked about that game a whole bunch. You guys have heard me talk about it a bunch for the last.
If you don't know what
episodes.
it is, you probably think it was some kind of like Neo racing game.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, is that the right word for it?
Yeah, no, you nailed it. Yeah. But it's not. It's a awesome, like Legend of Zelda style, open, awesome adventure game with great combat, beautiful music, beautiful world, cryptic, confusing story that's really fun. Love that game. So that's the best indie game of the year. All right, Michael, I'm going to let you announce this one. What is...
Hopefully I remember what it is.
the Words and Stuff Game of the Year Award, the best third-party game of 2016.
Oh, I know what this is.
Yeah?
Dark Souls 3.
Trey.
I in Roman numerals.
Numericals.
Awesome game. First Dark Souls game I really played. I played the other ones at my friend's house. Got super frustrated. So started to play it for real. Got this game. Super fun. Awesome. Like one of my favorite franchises in video games in the recent years.
Mm-hmm.
Then I played Bloodborne earlier. I mean, lately. So I love the series now. But Dark Souls 3, great maybe ending to the Dark Souls series. Probably not.
I think they're talking about it might be. They'll maybe continue with Bloodborne, and they might even continue with Demon Souls, but they might be done with Dark Souls.
Probably start like another game, but same exact.
Exactly.
Like Bloodborne literally is
Bloodborne Souls.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, great music. They definitely polished up on like the games. Basically, it's like a better Dark Souls, of the original Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Yeah, they added some cool stuff to it. Yeah, awesome music, like I mentioned again. Really cool graphics, a lot of detail in each area. Super difficult, super fun.
Cool. All right, now we're moving on to a little bit more of the kooky kind of topics, not just straight cookies. I meant kooky, but then I thought how stupid and lame kooky said when I said it, and now I can't take it back, and now I'm lingering on how weird it was.
Okay,
but
we have to start this podcast over an hour in.
So, the Words and Stuff Game of the Year award. What is the greatest surprise game of 2016? And I'm gonna explain a little bit. The surprise game would be our expectations for it were low, and it surpassed the expectation, or it came out of freaking nowhere and blew us out of the water. Here's this. You can see which one it is, right, Micah? Because you're going to be able to talk about this one.
Yeah.
The surprise, my personal surprise game would have been Hyper Light Drifter again, and that's for the second reasoning of it coming out of nowhere, kind of in my opinion. I heard some stuff about it and didn't get a chance to play it till almost 10 months after the game came out, but I absolutely love it. But the actual winner of the best surprise game, because it was kind of, our expectations for it were kind of lowish, but they surpassed them, is
Final Fantasy 15.
A
lot of F's there. I mentioned some of it earlier. Took me by surprise. I never played a Final Fantasy game before. I really didn't. Yeah, I really didn't have an expectation. I don't know if I had a low expectation for it, but I really just
That's kind of the definition of surprise. Either we had low expectation or it kind of came out of nowhere as far as like, whoa, this game's really good.
So already a month out, it was $20 off, so I was like, I'll grab this. I wanted to grab it anyway because for some reason I kept thinking it was a PlayStation only game. So I'm like, I want to play all the first party. I want to try to play all the first party PlayStation games.
It seems like it could have
it was. It used to be
synonymous for Nintendo, and then it was synonymous for PlayStation. Now it's just like it's everybody's.
Quick history. It was
it's
going
a
to be
slut of a franchise.
Yeah.
Just sleeps around with anybody and whoever it wants. It used to be married to Nintendo, and then it divorced Nintendo and was married to Sony, and now it divorced Sony. But it's still sleeping around with Nintendo and Sony, and now Xbox is in the.
Yeah, it's like here's Cloud and Smash Bros. Like some random.
What a slutty franchise.
Tisk. Shame on you. Anyway, yeah. Quick history lesson, real quick. Final Fantasy VII was going to be on the because like just about all those from like 1 to 6, I believe, were all on the NES and SNES. It was truly a Nintendo game, like franchise. So it's kind of sad. 7, PlayStation came out. Here's the first mistake, or maybe not mistake, but Nintendo just didn't know where they were weak in console, and that kind of messed them up, and it has for many years now. In ways, the cartridges didn't hold enough space. It's just how they worked.
Yeah.
So they switched to the super long loading screen discs of PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
And they really did all they possibly could. They put like cool, really good at the time cutscenes into the game. They literally squeezed as much as they could into the console.
Oh yeah, Final Fantasy VII is considered. If you play it now, it's not perfect. But the whole remake that they're doing, they're actually completely rebuilding the game from the ground up. So hopefully that'll kind of fix some of the stuff where it is a little outdated. But for sure, at that time, it was like the game. Yeah. I was like, whoa, like this is what games can be in this genre. It's incredible.
And that's what Square Enix, I think, with Final Fantasy really likes to do with games, is really do as maybe not in the way of like every little like where like because with these types of games, especially Japanese games, like it's like there's like a wall, an invisible wall, and you're like, what the heck? But for some reason, Japanese, it's weird because a lot of Japanese game developers still do this.
Do what? You're confusing me. Right?
Like invisible wall type things, or it's like it just doesn't like
So but you said that's what Square Enix wants to do. What are you saying that they want to do?
What I was saying is maybe not that type of thing where like they make it as clean as possible, but they like to make it as super like realistic and really like put a lot of power into as much as they can.
Yeah, and that's what this game does. It does weird stuff like you're putting gas into your car. Like, that's so weird in a game. Like, what do you mean? Why do I need to put gas in my car?
Yeah.
But that's what you kind of mean, right? Like, they're putting attention to detail into a lot of things where sometimes people just kind of don't even think about it.
No.
So, yeah, there might be invisible walls, which would be annoying. But then they put their a lot of time into weird stuff that ends up giving the game some character and heart. And that's Japan for you, like everything they do. That's why I'm glad that you're playing this game, and I'm glad you're into it, because Final Fantasy is like Japan, the video game, for like the same way that you love a lot of animes and stuff like that. It's not a lot of them, but some of them. But it's the same type of thing where we both are just Japan culture. I love it. I love Japan culture. I love a lot about it.
It's interesting.
It's very interesting, and it's unique to itself, which all culture is, but it seems extra unique to itself.
They put detail into the little things that end up being really special when you wouldn't think they would be. And you're like, what? That's stupid. Why would they do that? Cool. But yeah, like I said, they really like to put as much into their game, as much power-wise, so that's why they ended up going with PlayStation. And that's when Nintendo lost that franchise.
And that's why for Final Fantasy 15, that's one of the reasons why it took so long, because they were working so hard to try to push the envelope, and then eventually they're like, well, this isn't, we want to push it even more, we're going to wait for the next console series for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and then they continue waiting. This game's been in development, not been in development for 10 years straight. I know they stopped and restarted and all that kind of stuff, but
the plot and the story, they're not actually working on it. 10 years, but a long time though, for sure.
Cool.
And very unique game. They have like a different fighting style kind of in all the different Final Fantasy games in the last couple of years. This one's really fun. Mixes up like RPG with like
it's an action RPG. It's a true action RPG.
I think it's the first open world Final Fantasy game, other than I guess like the MMORPG one that they had. So definitely deserves the
surprise
game for me.
Cool. Awesome. All right, to go to the total opposite of that, we're going to talk about the most disappointing game of 2016, and that's going to be a similar type thing. We had the surprise game of the year was kind of a low expectation or no expectation, like it came out of nowhere game that blew us out the water. This is the opposite. It's a game that we had high expectations for.
The whole world did.
Or at least, exactly. Or at least moderate expectations, and then let's say we had an expectation that this game was going to be a 10. It's still a disappointing game if it's a 7, let's be honest. Or if the game we're anticipating that it's like a 7 out of 10 type game, and then it ends up being a 4, it's a disappointing game.
Yeah.
So disappointing doesn't always mean that it's a terrible game, but it means that our expectations for it were that this is going to be a great game, and it ends up sucking. Michael, what is the Words and Stuff Game of the Year award, the one that nobody really wants to get? What is the most disappointing game of 2016?
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. Makes me want to cry.
No Man's buy this game. No man should buy this game.
No man should buy this game.
No man should buy this game. I bought it, sadly. It was weird because I expected so much of it, even though I expected all the things that they were talking about to be true.
Yeah, we tempered our expectations.
Yeah, I did. And at the same time, I trusted them. But at the same time, I looked online. I'm like, maybe it's just one of these things where they're not showing it. Because anything you looked at, they barely showed any detail, or all you saw was like...
It seemed like the same basic thing over and over again, and yet they were promising ship battles, and like all these... a lot of things that they pretty much straight up promised just weren't there.
And
a lot of the speculation was made up from us, the fans, where we're like, this is going to be it, and this is going to be it, and like no one even mentioned that. But still, a lot of things they legit did mention.
And I believe they actually got in a little bit of trouble with that, I think.
Yeah.
Saying some things that weren't true to push the game. So I took that all into consideration, but was still expecting it to be trustworthy to a point. It got really boring really quick. Same thing. I was like, what's the goal here? they're talking about like you gotta get to the center of the universe, some kind of secret story, and it's like
nothing was even there.
Yeah, you go like these areas where there's supposed to be different people, but they literally all look the same. These dumb.
To me, it almost feels like a Minecraft game, but without the charm. Minecraft had this strange charm where it's like, what am I doing? Why am I here? Why is it 3:00 in the morning? And I've been like punching a mountain for the last 4 hours. Yeah. But the game had a charm to it, and it had the building aspects really helped push it as far as being able to do something. No Man's Sky is kind of like, what am I doing? Why am I just flying to this place, mining for this ore, going back up to the spaceship, to the space station, buying like a new this with my ores, and then getting in this ship that I bought that can now go a little further because I got an upgrade
a little more space
to go to a different planet that, this planet looks different, and has a couple new creatures, but the creatures all still look exactly the same. Like somebody made this comparison. I forget if you remember, Micah, but it was like No Man's Sky is either going to be Minecraft or Spore, and it's totally Spore.
Whoa, yeah, I don't know.
Isn't that kind of true?
Yeah.
Like as far as just being a game where it's like you can do so much and people now Minecraft and Spore are different because Minecraft is like a small indie game that was in beta form that just grew and grew and grew, and Spore was more like this game, like No Man's Sky, where there was expectation and kind of hype built around it. But it reminds me of Spore so much, where like there's expectations and like hype behind this game, and it just doesn't work.
No. Yeah. As a poor kid, I got tricked by that.
You got tricked by No Man's Sky and by Spore.
So bad.
You liked it. You enjoyed some of it.
Yeah,
but
I still loved it, but it got like, I started to realize what it wasn't. They added an expansion pack where you could like build your own planets, which was like a totally different game, and then I went crazy over that too, and I enjoyed the heck out of it.
You had more fun with that one for sure.
Yeah. Gives me weird feelings thinking about it now, for sure.
I saw your face when I mentioned Spore. You're like, oh,
yeah,
that game.
I totally forgot. Weird period in my life. Yeah.
Cool. For sure. All right, so the most disappointing game of the year, No Man's Sky. But I want to give a shout out real quick to my disappointing game of the year. We're going to have No Man's Sky is the winner, but my personal one is Batman, the Telltale series.
Ooh.
So a lot of people are giving a lot of like love to this series, and I personally don't get it. So what they did with Batman, without kind of being spoilery, is they decided that they're going to take Batman and tell their own story with it. So one of the things that I will spoil, because it's not a big deal and it's in episode 1, is that like Cobblepot, who ends up being the Penguin, is like a childhood friend with Bruce. So like as their children, they were friends. That's the type of plot change that I'm okay with. Because it's like, okay, that's a small thing behind the scenes, and you could build a really cool
like who knows
background story behind that being the reason why, there's some bitterness there or whatever. And it ended up being that like Cobblepot's family fell apart, and Bruce's family, continued to rise to fame. So he's bitter about that, and that's one of the reasons behind some of, the crookedness of his actions. That's cool. Like, that was a little small thing that they can build a lot of story off of. So I'm okay that they did that. However, I'm not going to spoil things, because if somebody does want to go play this game, that's great. The other gigantic plot twist type things that they've done, to me, are like unforgivable. It would be, this isn't what happened, but let me just try to pull something out of my hat. It would be like if all of a sudden, Batman's adopted, like Bruce Wayne's adopted. Like that it would be something like that. Like Bruce Wayne's
you can't do that.
Real parents are actually like murdered, and then his adopted parents were also murdered. Something weird like that. Where I'd be like, you can't do that. They're changing it too much. That's too big of a
I know
deal
what it
for
is,
me.
and that's a perfect analogy.
I'm glad. I'm trying to think of something good. But like that's the type of thing, and then it totally changes the game because so much of what Batman is based on his parents. So if all of a sudden he was adopted, and like if that was the original plot, that's cool. But that's not what the plot is, and you're changing too much of it.
And that's
and now the entire game was based on this gigantic plot that they changed. they also changed something where one of the quote-unquote good guys in the series ended up being a bad guy. That's another small plot that I'm okay with, because it's kind of like a side, not even a secondary character. This character ended up being like a thirdendary character. And that character ended up being a bad person after all. That's another one where I'm like, okay, that's an okay stretch. But when you drastically change the foundation of who this character is, I'm so off board, and it was so off-putting. The game also runs like crap. I've never seen a game series. The Telltale series all runs so bad. The frame rate is so bad. The action moments are sometimes unplayable. And like it's still a beloved franchise. Somebody needs to say they need to stop this, and they need to fix their games and make them playable, and then I will go back to it enjoying them. Like if the frame rate's so bad that it's unplayable at times, that's inexcusable. Inexcusable.
And they need to stop. And like I hate when companies end up just becoming like a milking cow now.
Exactly. And
they were loved for the
Walking Dead,
and now they're
like doing a new one every 2 seconds.
Yeah, and it's like, well, let's.
And guess what? Some of them aren't good. What's the one?
There's a Minecraft one.
The Minecraft one was stupid. What's the other one? What's the show that everybody loved for a while? It's kind of small now. The
Walking Dead.
The snowy one, kind of.
Snowy one.
What's that show with the bloody wedding and everything?
They just said Walking Dead again. Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones. They did one off of that.
Okay.
That one was not good. No one even liked it. It was not popular.
I didn't even remember.
So now they're just kind of pooping out ones. Some of them are good, some of them aren't. But this game, along with not playing well, along with the story being crazy in my opinion, and changing too much.
This is what you need.
It also runs bad. The voice acting is awful in my opinion. They're not even lip synced correctly. Like people open their mouth and words aren't coming out, and then they close their mouth and then words come out. It's so off-putting, especially for a story-based game where things need to not push me out and make me feel like
those little things. Yeah.
So that's my personal one. But.
Yeah, when they do stuff like this, if either make your own flipping superhero if you want to do stupid stuff like that, like change. Like, obviously I don't want to say it, but if you're gonna do crazy changes like this, that if you play it you'll know. Or just actually, if you are given permission to have a flippin' Batman, which is huge, respect it and make a story around it, which doesn't completely change it, and you're disrespecting the series, the franchise Batman for sure. That's why you got to be really careful, and I would never really want to deal with someone else's thing like that.
Yeah, and totally drastically change it like that.
I'd want to start from scratch and make my own game, movie, TV show, whatever the flip it is.
I agree.
It takes a lot. It takes way more work to start from something else.
Wolf Among Us is their best work, by the way, in my opinion. I love Wolf Among Us.
That was from scratch.
No, it is from a story. It is from a story,
Was it?
But it's from a way less known story, so people aren't going to be as offended if they change things and stuff. But
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Next one is a kind of a cool one. What is Micah?
Yeah.
You can announce this one.
The
Words and Stuff Game of the Year award. What is the just plain fun game of the year?
It involves cars. And a big ball. Which is a soccer ball.
Yes.
And it's called Rocket League.
Yes. Okay, I'm cheating for this one. Sorry, guys, I'm cheating. This game originally came out in 2016, but for me on my Xbox, it originally came out in 2015. But for me on my Xbox, it came out in 2016. Rocket League is the most fun game I have played in years.
Super fun. I was playing it before him. I got it way back now. I think sometime in late 15, maybe early 16, for PlayStation. Playing it with friends. Loved it. Then John eventually got it. My bro next to me, to my right. If you didn't remember that, who that was. Anyway, he ended up getting it then in this year, which technically it released 2016 on your console.
On my Xbox, yes.
And now we both own the game. Super fun. I'd probably suck if I got back into it because I
I would too. But
you were like a god at it.
I got so good at that game. I pulled off these awesome, insane jumps and flying. I could fly across the map and hit it when it's 70 feet in the air. I probably couldn't do that at all right now. And there are people that are on the next level above me that I could never get as good as them. But I was only a couple notches from those awesome guys. That's one of those games that it's a hard game, and I took kind of pride in getting really good at it and pulling off these awesome things. And it's such an exhilarating game. to be losing a game with only like 30 seconds left and, you know, be down by like 2 shots and somehow get 2 shots in a row back to back.
Totally possible.
And it's totally possible. And then getting into overtime where you could sometimes have a game where like the game is like it finishes at like a tie of 6-6. So now it goes to sudden overtime. And you say, okay, the game went to 6-6, so it's a high-scoring game. But you could still end up, for some reason, having an overtime now that lasts like 4 minutes, and like the intensity is so high because it's getting. I'm getting like happy just talking about it. It's legitimately one of the most fun games I've played in a long, long time. Multiplayer with my friends online. It's just an incredible, incredible game. So I know it originally came out in 2015, but for the Xbox One, which I played it on, it came out in 2016, and I played that game like crazy. The only reason why I'm not playing it now is because I like gave it a big, like I said, if I try to play it now, it'd probably suck. But it's the best, just plain fun game of 2016.
Yep.
Hands freaking down.
Boom. Okay, moving on. Getting pretty close here now, right?
Yeah, we only have a few left. So
we'll probably
that was the last of, other than our game of the year, which we will save for the last one. We are moving on to 1, 2, 3, 4 topics that are based on 2017. First off, the Words and Stuff Game of the Year Awards most anticipated game for 2017 is
The Legend of Zelda.
The Breath of the Wild.
Yep.
Can't freaking wait.
All I gotta say is Legend of Zelda, though. Like,
yeah.
This is it's still hard to even think about that another Legend of Zelda game is coming out.
I'm so happy.
On a main console.
So
happens
excited.
every 7, 6, like
Feels like every 20
it's weird
years.
to just think that like the last one was Skyward Sword and the one right before that was Twilight Princess, and I feel like Twilight Princess has been by my side since I was like 6 years old, 7 years old. So it doesn't happen very often.
It's been a long time.
Definitely deserves it then.
My number 2 pick is Red Dead Redemption 2. But and I'm super psyched about that game. I can't wait.
Yeah.
And who knows, that might end up being like the better game. We'll see. But
nope.
But the Breath of the Wild is doing so many amazing things. The fact that it's like the original Zelda where you can go anywhere and do anything. There's some stuff we don't know. We're still like, are there dungeons in this game? Like, you better not have totally ruined the formula. But literally, if it ends up being like the original Zelda, which had dungeons and whatnot, so if it's literally that exact game where you can go anywhere, do anything, explore, just play the game and explore for 2 hours and be like, oh shoot, I didn't even like actually, do a dungeon in the story-based thing. Now let me jump back to that, and then now let me do some side missions. And if it's like that kind of thing, which it looks like it could be, and it looks like it will be, and it looks like it's a lot of fun gameplay, they're doing a lot of new things. It looks fantastic, and it's definitely super high on both of our anticipated lists. It's number 1 for both of us. We can't wait.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll see more of that, maybe even at
in a couple weeks.
The presentation.
In a
which
couple weeks.
Most of the rumors will probably be solved.
All these rumors. Yeah, we'll be done. We'll be done with the rumor mills soon with the Switch and just be talking about.
Basically, hopefully we should know everything about the Switch.
Hopefully, if they do it right, they will, including the bad things. They need to get the bad out of the way too. Be like, sorry guys, the battery is this, only 3 hours or whatever. 1 minute. All right, next one. I like this one. This is a fun wording. The Words and Stuff Game of the Year Awards for 2016. The that game is finally coming out game of 2017. So this award is like, I forgot about that game because it's a game that has been talked about for forever, and then all of a sudden it's gone. And like, that game exists.
Yeah.
So the game, that game is finally coming out game of 2017 is
Below.
Below.
I forgot for a
If you guys don't know what Below is, it's a little indie game.
You're a
by
teeny little guy.
Capybara Games. You're a teeny guy. It's a dungeon crawling game.
The camera's like really high up.
The camera's super far away. You're just tiny little. You might be a giant for all we know.
Yeah.
But the camera's so zoomed back that you're just little like ant-sized person, and it's basically like Dark Souls-esque where it's extremely difficult, and it's a dungeon crawler where you just keep going further down. It's the same type of thing. You use campfires to like save. If you get killed, you can try to go back to your body to collect your goods. It looked incredible when they first announced it, 2012 or something?
Crazy.
It's been so long.
Something like that,
and every once in a while, I'm like, oh yeah, that game. I can't freaking wait. So that's my, what's the exact wording for it? It's a funny wording. So, oh yeah, that game is finally coming out. Game of 2017 is Below, because I hope it actually does come out, because it looks fantastic, and I'm excited for if it actually does.
Yep.
Next one
is
the Words and Stuff Game of the Year awards for 2016. The Please Don't Suck game of 2017 is. Do you remember? Rhyme.
Yeah, Rhyme.
So Rhyme is an indie game we talked about last year. It was first announced in 2013, I believe, as a PlayStation exclusive. They've since dropped it, which is bad signs because it's like, maybe this game isn't as good as it looked like it's going to be,
or it's just a weird decision,
or it was a weird decision. And then it was picked back up by third party as far as developing it, as far as producing it, and now it's being developed for the Switch and the PlayStation and the Xbox and everybody. Yeah. And it looks like it could be one of those all-time great indie games. Yeah. Every once in a while, there's an indie game that comes around, like Braid,
beautiful 3D world.
Braid or Fez, or I was burping. I didn't want to burp into the thing. Yeah, Braid or Fez or Inside or whatever, those type of games. Every once in a while, those come out, and this could be on that list, or it could totally suck. It might end up being a bad game, so that's why I'm putting it on the Please Don't Suck list, because I want it to be great for multiple reasons. We could have given this to a lot of other things, but as far as a game that looks like it's borderline, like, I don't know, but it has a chance to be great, and I'm just hoping that it doesn't suck. It's definitely below. I mean, it's not below. It's definitely Rhyme. Rhyme.
Yeah.
But the runner-up for this one was Ghost Recon Wildlands. I'm really excited about that. It looks great. It's a co-op game. I just want it to be fun. So that's why I don't want it to suck, because I want it to be fun to play with my friends.
How many times they throw out these new Ghost Recon games lately. We want to make sure they're good. Mm-hmm. And similar to like Assassin's Creed and stuff like that, where they're throwing a lot out. But they definitely take more care of these games. So,
and they're individual different games too.
Yeah, they're all special.
All right. What about, here's the next
this is a confusing one, I think, right?
Kind of. It's the I bet it'll get it'll get pushed to 2018 game of 2017. So to re-explain that, this is the Words and Stuff Game of the Year's award for 2016, and this is the I bet it'll get pushed to 2018 game of 2017.
Yeah.
So that's a game that's supposed to come out in 2017, and we're like, nah, brah, it's coming out in 2018 at least.
And it is. I'm gonna announce it, even though I don't remember the name of it. All I know is that it has Detroit. In the title.
Detroit Become Human.
What they showed at E3.
It is a you play as like an android. Actually, we don't know a whole bunch about it, but you play as an android that definitely looks like a human. And it's like a story-based game where all of your actions can drastically change the story. It looks fantastic.
Really,
I just don't think it's going to come out. It's kind of right now saying 2017 winter type period.
I doubt
for more reasons than one. I think I just don't think it'll going to be quite ready. And B, I think they're going to look at this and be like, this is a really good game for like February, where it's a little bit quieter and where this game has a true chance to shine. Sony's going to be like, we don't want to drop this in the nonsense of Red Dead Redemption 2, of if that game, which I think that game will be 2017, of the Call of Duty that's around then, of Battlefront 2. It's going to be swallowed up by a lot of these triple big. No,
Halo 6.
Just stop it. It's going to be swallowed up by a lot of those games.
First-person shooter 5. Yeah. It's what that like 1 week is just like first-person shooter week. It's like,
October and November is just like first-person shooter.
Hopefully, physically or mentally can play all those. So why are you gonna bundle them all up?
That's the biggest mistake by the year. Titanfall 2 being squished in between those two things was idiotic.
Biggest mistake of 2016.
Titanfall 2 release date.
Yep,
done.
That's a new one now.
Game of the year. We're on to Game of the Year. The hearts are pounding. Words and Stuff Game of the Year Awards 2016. Game of the Year belongs to. I'm like, let's just talk about it. What do you want? What do you want to be the Game of the Year?
Okay, I'm trying to think. I don't know.
Do you think Final Fantasy? Here's Final Fantasy could be a possibility.
Yeah.
Dark Souls could be a possibility.
Yeah.
Uncharted 4 could be a possibility. Those are, in my opinion, your games that would make the list. For me, it would be Inside, it would be Hyper Light Drifter, and maybe Rocket League, but I'm going to be a little more fair and say that technically that is originally a 2015 game, so we can bump that back out again.
I'm going to cut out Final Fantasy right now because, honestly, I've only been playing it for less than a week. I haven't beat the game yet. So I don't want to pick a game that I haven't even beat. I don't think that's fair. But definitely if it was early in the year, if I played more, I'd consider that. But it came out pretty late. It almost feels like it should be a 2016 Like you should almost count it as a 2017 because it's so late in the year.
What, Final Fantasy?
Yeah, because it wasn't even at the Game of the Years, right? It was too late.
What are you saying?
It wasn't even at Game of the Years.
Oh, no, I think it was too late. It'll be nominated and blah 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 for stuff next year.
Yeah, exactly. So that type of thing that I don't want to count that. So I'd go with Uncharted 4. I think that's the fair one to pick.
So my personal pick is Hyper Light Drifter. I think it's incredible. It's you guys have heard me say so much about this game, especially in last week's episode, where in the review recap, where I gave the game a 10. What more can I say?
Yeah.
As the style of game that it is, as an old school throwbacky type game that still feels new and fresh, and with a really cool story, cryptic, amazing stuff. It's an incredible game to me, and it's awesome. You know what I mean? It's one of the great games to me, in a long time. I don't think it. I think it's great. But what do you think deserves it out of Hyper Light Drifter or Uncharted 4, Micah?
So we're gonna figure this out, or maybe we just have our last two be our personal.
Do you want to do that?
I don't know. It sounds
do you want to just hand it to a tie?
It sounds kind of cool, but yeah, crossover Uncharted, Hyper Light Drifter.
Cool. Let's do that.
For the Xbox PS4 one.
No, just the game of the year of 2016 is Uncharted 4 / Hyper Light Drifter.
Yeah,
that's good enough for me. I like it. That works. I think that's fair. I mean, there was a co-MVP in a Super Bowl back in Super Bowl 7 or something like that. No, there wasn't.
Really?
It wasn't a Super Bowl, but in the league. It was a year that Steve McNair got it.
That guy.
And
I remember him.
McNair co-MVP. I feel like it was him and Peyton Manning, or him and Kurt Warner. Yeah. Peyton Manning and Steve McNair shared the MVP. And remember, the way that works is that they literally vote for their MVP, so they got the exact same amount of votes. Nobody could be like, I want this guy. We just had a nice discussion about it, and we decided to share it. This one was people were voting for one and people were voting for the other, and it split right down the middle, which is pretty crazy. Pretty awesome. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to say that the 2016 Game of the Year for Words and Stuff podcast is Uncharted 4 / Hyper Light Drifter. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Great year overall still. Down year in some ways, but I still played some...
There were some solid games. Like I said before, I think we were missing some marquee games, some of the Witchers of the worlds, but...
Two franchises, though, that are kind of close to my heart in video games, though. Almost, maybe 3 now.
What's that?
Dark Souls.
Yeah.
So that was kind of wow, huge. This is an awesome franchise.
Yeah.
Uncharted, awesome franchise.
Yep.
And maybe Final Fantasy too, even though they're all
so 3 new ones to use. What you're saying.
So and that's always special.
So yeah, for you personally, this was a big year, because there was 2.
Yeah, it really was.
3 series that you're really into now. You think?
Yeah.
Because of stuff that came out this year.
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome.
It is.
Awesome.
So Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Do you want to do what we're excited about or whatever? All right, I'm excited about playing some more Call of Duty Online with my friends because it's fun. And I'm excited for the new year. Yeah. And I'm excited for 2 more weeks of no school. And I'm excited that I don't have to go to work tomorrow. Thank God.
1 week left for me.
Cool. I also have to pee, so you know what?
I like
Let's
school,
just cut this off as quick as we can.
I enjoy school.
Micah, what's your quote?
This one comes from... Actually, I'll say it afterwards.
Okay.
But here it is.
Okay, go ahead.
Man's morality ought in no sort to be violated, urged, or constrained. And that's by our great grandfather Roger Williams.
Yo, let me see this. So Roger Williams we're totally royalty, by the way. We have French kings in our background. We have English royalty in our background. But our great grandfather was Roger Williams, and he founded the state of Rhode Island, which is the smallest state in America.
Which I'm ashamed that we haven't gone and visited yet.
Yeah, we need to.
Just in respect of him. But he was friends with Native Americans, spoke their language, he spoke multiple different Native American languages. He literally stopped a war. There was a war going to happen between
New York and Indian tribe, and he went into the tribe, just with him and one translator, because he could speak the language but kind of broken, but he also wanted somebody to be there that wasn't just some white man walking in all by himself. And all night long he talked to these people and talked them out of fighting and helped and signed a treaty, and boom, done. No war happened. It's like freaking. That's freaking awesome.
It's amazing.
He was kicked out of Pennsylvania, which is where we're from, because he was too open. He was like, you can be whatever religion, you can be whatever background. I want us to be able to live here as Native Americans, as white men, as Catholics, as Protestants, as atheists wouldn't be the wording back then, but as people who don't believe in anything. And people were like, this is ridiculous. Like, what the heck? This is America. This is the point of America. So then he founded Rhode Island. He founded Providence, Rhode Island. And the whole point of that area was literally like, come here and be every single kind of background and have every single kind of religion and live with peace together. He also ran into a bunch of problems because guess what? That's really hard to do. So there were a lot of people fighting and bickering and stuff going on, because that is really hard to live amongst each other with so many different worldviews. But that's what his like main heart and mindset and goal was. He got kicked out of one state and started a new state just for those reasonings, and it's pretty awesome. So read the quote again, Micah. It's because it's kind of confusing, and this is what the 1600s. So it's it's
okay. Ready?
Confusing.
Man's morality ought in no sort to be violated, urged, or constrained. So cool. Think about that.
Think about it.
Proud
hard.
to have that. To have his blood.
Yes.
And awesome guy. That's it. Now we're talking about video games, and now it makes me feel kind of not insignificant.
Yeah, he's
I
doing.
need to go out stopping wars.
He's stopping wars and starting states, and we have a video game podcast.
It's a video game
where we rant about how much Firewatch sucked.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
All right.
Okay.
Words and stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching, /listening, /etc.
Yeah.
We love you all.
Thanks.
See ya. Happy New Year.
Yep. We got to play some Rocket League now that you talked about it.